This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire someone just like you.
Try LinkedIn Hiring Pro. It's more than a job board. It's like the recruiter you always wished you had. Hiring Pro uses real-time insights to match your role to LinkedIn's unique network of professionals and delivers a short list of best fit candidates. You'll spend less time sorting applicants and more time talking to the right people.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
If you want all of your data in one place, if you want a single home for all of your entities, if you want to spend more time working and less time searching, you need the Intuit ERP. I know because I'm Damon John, and I run my growing business on Intuit Enterprise Suite, the AI native ERP that's powerful, painless, and proven. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
Hi, Dumpster Divas. Welcome back to another episode of Dumpster Dive, a reality TV deep dive with me, Tom Hamlin. I am back from vacation, and I'm a little worse for wear. London and Scotland wore me out, baby. I am tired. My voice is tired. I was screaming at a wedding. I've been trying to keep up with the way y'all throw it back in the UK. It's a lot. Y'all do a lot over there. But I had an amazing time. It really was a magical trip. I want to talk a little bit about, a little bit about vacay. I'm going to be the aunt that, you know, when your aunt comes to visit and she just shows you all the photos from her trip, from her cruise. That's going to be me for a second. Okay. Because it was really wonderful. So I went to both London and Edinburgh for a wedding and also to visit some friends. My cousin Katie Ann lives in London, and one of my best friends, Bradley. If you listen to Good Judy's, my other podcast that is on a bit of a hiatus these days, but Good Judy's, Bradley was one of the co-hosts on that. Bradley is in Hercules, playing Hercules in the West End. So we had a wedding to go to, and we thought we'd stop by in London first to go check him out in the show, and we're so proud of him, and he was amazing. Truly, truly amazing. If y'all live in London, go catch Hercules before it leaves. I think it closes right after Labor Day, sometime around then. And yeah, he's fantastic. The show was great. Shout out to all the cast of the shows. It was really fun. Seeing shows in the West End is always really fun because the culture on theater there is a little bit different. One, the theaters are just so much more beautiful and older. The theaters in New York are beautiful in their own kind of like more, 70s and 80s architecture style, but there's not like a legacy of upkeep like there is to sustain like historical reference in sort of the architecture that there is in the West End. The theater that Bradley is at is one of the oldest theaters, and it's kept up by the state itself because I believe it's a landmark. It's the Drury Lane Theater. And yeah, it's just magical. It's so beautiful in there, and it's just cool. And then also, there's like a snacking culture during theater there that is so funny. On every West End show I've ever seen, they always have ice cream at intermission, which I'm not even like that big of an ice cream person, but I absolutely love the idea of like, let me go get my soft serve. Wait, when we were in the theater though, y'all, I mean, it's hard not to just like dive into my terrible British accent. And my British accent leans Cockney. It kind of always hangs in the Cockney space. So just beware of that for my Brits listening, because I know that there are Brits who listen to this. There are some of my beloved Scottish people, friends and family that listen to this. That friends and family that don't know I'm their friends and family yet. But I'm looking at y'all to get me a visa soon. So y'all, I do this in jest. Okay, I know it's bad. But they have these lovely, like, younger, the ushers just seemed younger. I don't know if it's like a internship program or something, but there was a lot of very young ushers. Like, seemed like they were in like college or like late high school, late primary school. And they, right before the show starts, this child comes up to us. We're at this like bar on top of the theater that's like stunning, has views of the city. And we hear this child come up and goes, 5 minutes to showtime, my dears. I was like, are we in Mary Poppins? Have we been transported to tuppence a bag? It was as if like, like the meme of the little doll who's like, who's me daddy, sir? I can't stop thinking about it. It was also higher pitched. It was higher pitched. It was like 5 minutes to showtime, my dearies. Crazy. Can't stop thinking about it. Shout out to you, Diva. You really brought the energy. I thought it was through the speakers, and then I turn around and there's just this little lady staring at me, little girl, little girl. Y'all, I'm already feeling crazy. But yeah, London was great. I had a great time. We also did the Traders Experience in London. The Traders Experience was in New York, I think, for a brief second, just as like a activation for the new season. But it wasn't here like forever. It's like a mainstay in tourist attractions now in London. And I have to say, it is so fun. They assign you to a random group. We were with our friends and then a random group of other people. And what they did was they lock you in a room with a host that does the whole Alan Cummings shtick or Claudia shtick. And you play challenges, there's traders, there's round tables, there's everything. It's really well done. And when you get banished or murdered, you're sent to another room where you get to watch everything play out because there's mics and cameras all around. Truly fantastic experience. Highly recommend. I played the game too hard and got kicked out midway through, but I have to tell a story because one of our dear friends, Madison, was with us. Now, Madison is a listener of the show, so she knows what's coming. And baby, you knew I was going to take to the mic on this story. But we were, Madison was in our group, and also in our group were these two older British women, somewhere in like the northern country of Great Britain. And they have applied to be on Traders a couple times, and they are perfect for the show. They're like the perfect older woman for UK Traders that is like a little kooky, funny, good talking heads, not super aware of how they come across, but they don't come across bad. They come across incredibly authentic. And like they would just, like, I wanted to call up Chris DeRosa and be like, Chris, who do you know on production at Traders? How do we get these two on the show? Because like they are perfect. Chris doesn't produce on that show. He produces on other shows, but. And shout out to Chris, by the way. I went to the Project Runway premiere party for the cast. It was like a cast hosted premiere party, and got to meet a lot of the cast of Project Runway this upcoming season. And the season's off to a great start. It's definitely a little more drama and a little more like, I don't know how to say it, like higher stakes reality TV show gaming side of Project Runway, which is different than its initial conceit, but I'm having a good time. So go check that out. Chris DeRosa, field producer on that. We love you, Chris. Anyways, so yes, these two ladies, they're amazing. One's name was Rebecca, one was Sal. Sal was like, she looked like she worked in the coal mines. And then Rebecca looked like Ina Garten circa 1970s Britain, England. And so but they're fast friends. They're kind of like an unlikely duo in some way. But they came here together. And so Sal, bless her heart, was just wrong around every corner. Made it to top two, but wrong around every corner, and then lost to Brian, my partner Brian, because he was a traitor. But Rebecca was a faithful, and our friend Madison was a faithful. And at one of the round tables after I got eliminated, Madison was like, Rebecca, I just have to throw your name out because like when you talk, like your eyes are really darty and it makes me think that you might be lying. I think a decently like real thing to say. Little did Madison know that the two traitors were sitting right by her, Rebecca not being one of them. And Rebecca, the sweet Ina Garten circa London, is like, I promise you with all of my heart, I am nothing but an honest woman. I'm exaggerating. Nothing but an honest woman. What you see is what you get with me, my dear. And Madison just looks at her and goes, yeah, and this is what I see. It was so funny, y'all. And Rebecca, the British woman, Ina Garten, she looked just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And then she got eliminated, and then so did Madison. And then we saw Brian take the crown as the ultimate traitor. But it was really fun. Really, really fun. I have to suggest that. That was London. And then we head up to Edinburgh. Oh, I also was there during the World Cup. Shout out, question mark? I don't really care about the World Cup, but I was there when England played. They did lose, but I was there when they lost. And then, I'm ventured my way up to Edinburgh, my new favorite place. Y'all, Edinburgh was amazing. And then while I was there, I was like, wait, this is weird because I'm here. And the Housewives of Atlanta were also here. And I'm recapping it on the podcast as those episodes are airing. Very bizarre. I mean, I went to all the places that they were at. It was very confusing. When I was watching these episodes, catching up this morning, I was like, wait, this is my trip. This was my trip. So I have a lot to say about the inner workings of Scotland and Edinburgh and all that. But y'all, it is a beautiful place. A lot of you jumped in the comments saying that you live in Scotland. And I am starstruck, honestly, that I have some Scottish listeners here because I was absolutely taken aback by how unbelievably beautiful Scotland was, how wonderful the food was, the drinks, the culture, the people. Like, it was all just really fantastic. And if anyone's looking to marry me and Brian and get us there, let me know. But had a great time. Also on my Instagram, you can see I rented a kilt. I think I'm now a kilt girl. I need all the kilts in my life. And I just had a really good time. It was a long trip, but a good one. A good trip. A great trip, really. And so, yeah, I'm going to recap Atlanta today. That's what this is about. We're going to be recapping episodes 14 and 15. A couple podcast logistics things, though, before we get into that. Reminder, Summer House deep dives are airing right now on Dumpster Dive. So we are diving into Summer House season number 5. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 have all been covered now. Episodes 4 and 5, there will be recaps combining those two out this week, and every week you'll just get one episode for 2 episodes worth of recaps. So that'll be going, and then I'm loving this vibe of throwing it back with some old recaps. Y'all seem to be really be enjoying these. So if there is another series that you would want me to dive into the catalog for, I would love to do it. Whether that's Vanderpump Rules, whether that's a non-Bravo show. Like I'd be happy to dive into a TLC show, into some Sister Wives, into some 90 Day Fiance. Just let me know. I'm very happy to dive into the catalogs because we need to remember where we came from. Or maybe we go all the way back. Flavor of Love, Rock of Love. Maybe we do it. But that's kind of what's going on the podcast. If you want a video version of this show, do subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/dumpsterdivepod. And if you want an early access version of this episode, the Patreon is where you get that. Patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. And if you have a little extra cash, there is a higher tier on the Dumpster Dive Patreon that gets your name read here at the end of every episode of the podcast. So go subscribe to the Patreon of the highest tier if you can afford it, and that will get you that. Also, we will have a Dumpster Dive Live coming up next week for the patrons only. Keep an eye out for my patrons on that. And that sums up our pod logistics. Let's dive into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So starting with episode 14. So episode 14 is titled Highland Games and Explosive Claims. So once again, we are in Scotland. This first episode that we recapped a couple weeks ago, or that I touched down with, it was a while ago, right? Because it was before, their first weekend in Scotland was before the 4th, I think. The scheduling has been kind of all crazy because of the holiday and everything, but I didn't totally touch down when they arrived in Scotland because they're on the outskirts of Edinburgh, that we were going to be spending our time in Edinburgh. And I should have put those two together and done some more investigative reporting when I was boots on the ground there. But like I said at the intro of this, I mean, I was at a lot of these places, and it is like even more gorgeous than what was photographed here. And the vibes are just high everywhere. Like, it's my ideal vibe. Like sweaters, a cocktail, you can see your breath when you breathe. That's what I like. I like a little après-ski. Like, that's the vibe there. I mean, we were there in the dead of July, and we were in sweaters. So year-round sweater weather, my ideal. But the episode starts with everyone just kind of recapping the dinner before, where we had all of our lesbian ba'a. And Phaedra says she went to go look up Tasty Black, which Tasty Black is this icon of lesbian porn, I guess. You know what? Let me look up Tasty Black right now. I'm going to look up Tasty Black. Tasty Black porn. Let me just say. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a lot. I don't really know that I have any feedback. I just opened that P word live on Dumpster Dive. There's a first time for everything. Well, now I've seen it. Phaedra tried to look it up in Scotland, and I guess you can't watch porn in Scotland. I wasn't up in these porns. I don't think I can say that word on YouTube. I wasn't up in these corn streets in Scotland, but I didn't know that was blocked. Let the Scottish people live. Let them live. But then Portia was like, no, I've watched some corn in Scotland because I was secluded in Scotland for traders. I think you just were looking at the wrong sites. But they play the Highland Games, which this seems so fun. So we had log flipping, hammer swing, and tug of war as our different things. The log flipping, they were just, it kind of is its namesake. They were, how do I say, flipping logs. I mean, that does sound like a euphemism. Is flippinglogs.com censored in Scotland? Who knows? But they were flipping them logs. And I just love to see these ladies have fun together. It just doesn't matter what they're doing. They're just inherently so watchable. It's so watchable. Everything they do, always. Tug of war is happening. Well, the log flips and hammer swings, everyone was like moderately fine at it. And then tug of war really made me laugh because they dragged Kelly through the grass on her back. And I want Kelly to have some fun, but she is always 3 Camuses deep. You know what? Let me take that back. She's three barefoot Cabernets deep. Okay? The lady is also, while I was away, it seems they've seized like all of her money. Like, I think she has like no cash in the bank. All of her cards are unlocked. She can't spend any money. What is she doing? What is she doing? Kelly, girl, this is a mess. And you're aligning with SHAMEA? Your ass is going to be fired because you're aligning with SHAMEA. Oh, Jesus. Kelly, how do we solve a problem like Kelly? And Angela says a really hilarious quote. She goes, I've been waiting to drag Kelly's ass all trip.
What if I told you you only have 12 hours to legally have sex?
To finding true love. Or just like a good guy.
From the director of Easy A and Anyone But You.
This whole thing is nuts.
There's nothing traditional about this night.
On August 7th, the clock starts on the summer's biggest rom-com.
I'm Owen.
Allie.
What about you and me?
Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner.
I've been told I'm a 7.
By who? Your mom?
Nah, she thinks I'm a 10.
One night only. Rated R. Only in theaters August 7th.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Systane Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Systane Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Ever wonder where Tropicana got its name? The tropics. And every time you enjoy a glass, you're not just drinking juice. You're taking a trip. Stepping into sunshine and embarking on a flavorful journey into the tropics where ripe fruit is crafted into wildly delicious juice. And the best part? No passport required. Tropicana. Give life some juice.
And there she was, dragged through that mud. Dragged through the mud. After the game, they head back into their beautiful estate. And, by the way, when I was at this wedding I went to, shout out to our friend Ruthie. Her and her husband Garrett got married on this. It was on the Pennycook estate. Pennycook is this kind of suburban town outside of Edinburgh, named after, I believe, this estate. And it was magical. If you swipe through my Instagram post, you can see some of the photos of the estate, but it was actually insane and looked a lot like this castle in terms of vibes. Very similar. But yeah, they head back inside and they have hot toddies and haggis. Now, let me tell y'all, I did have a haggis fritter when I was in Scotland because I wanted to just say I've had it. Now, what is haggis? Haggis is the brains and the lungs and then any other like leftover parts of a sheep, blended it together and stuffed into, also with oats, like oatmeal, stuffed into the sheep's stomach and then served boiled, fried, however. And I guess like a popular way to serve it is in like a fritter form and like a croquette. And I had what they had. And I don't know if I didn't like it so much because I knew what it was. It just kind of tasted like salty mush fried. But then when you start thinking about that you're eating brain, you start to be like, I'm going to just go ahead and not finish this. So, yeah, they try some things. And then SHAMEA gets the scene where she calls her mom. And she starts planting seeds here about what she's going to do at dinner. And so this is where SHAMEA really lost me. I mean, she's been losing me all season. I think that she is trying way too hard to make some sort of... I don't really know what her MO is, actually, because she should kind of know at this point, unfortunately or unfortunately, however you look at it, like Portia is the star of the show. Coming for the star of the show as a newer cast member is never going to really end up... It very rarely ends well for you. Those dynamics of like kissing the feet of the star of the show, I think, is tired and worn out. But at the same time, like, you can't just be sitting here plotting story drops as if like you think you're going to take and run with this television program as like the new Supreme. Like, SHAMEA isn't going to win an argument here with Portia and then make Portia look bad. Portia gets fired because of how bad she looks. And then SHAMEA is now the center peach holder. I mean, you have to have some sort of self-awareness of the fact that SHAMEA, on the list of people here that are next in line for center peach, you are maybe second to last being Kelly. I mean, Angela is up there. Right now, if we're going to be in a succession terms of who gets center peach after Portia, Angela's probably second. And guess what, baby? You and Angela joined at the same time, and you're second to last. So I just don't see what her MO is here. And also, why is she involving her mom? What does her mom get out of this? What does the family get out of this? How does this make anyone look good? But she has a plan, and she's vengeful, and she starts planting the seed with her mom about talking shit about Portia, essentially ready to be like, and I'm going to bring this up at dinner. So the ladies head out to dinner. Kelly is in this McDowell's look. I didn't understand what was going on here. Did y'all get it? I didn't understand. What was happening? Why was she in the McDonald's look? I don't know. And she got this look from her man. She won't talk about her man on camera. All of the women want to know about her man, which I found really rich because Kelly loves to talk about who's talking. She loves to be in people's drama about what's going on off camera, but is unwilling to bring her man on camera. A reminder, this man also bought her ass a set of teeth, which is crazy to me. Right now, Kelly needs the $70K that you spent on her teeth, just maybe cash in the pocket. Why did you buy her teeth with that? And then she says, can you imagine being drained of all your bad bitch minerals? Because that's where she was at with her old husband, her ex-husband. And I said, girl, what? I don't think you ever had a bad bitch mineral. Did you? Did you? I mean, I guess being a bad bitch is in the eye of the beholder. So if she felt like a bad bitch, that's maybe all that matters. But to me, I don't know that she had any bad bitch minerals. As someone who has none, okay? Someone who has zero. We're also talking about pelvic floors. I found this actually kind of, fascinating. Phaedra was saying that if you don't get, boned enough, your pelvic floor will fall out of your vagina, and then you got to push it back up in. I said, excuse me? What? Huh? What? You learn something new every day. And then Drew talks about getting fingered in physical therapy, and K. Michelle has a great confessional, per usual, where she says, I just ain't never seen nobody lie like that. To which I say, I agree. Drew was wearing on me in these 2 episodes. She's so fake. That's my thing with her. Like, I really do find her, like, enjoyable when she's activated in the group. Where she loses me, and when she's just sitting in the corner, just like, was it? Oh, that's sad. Like, you know what I mean? She just does this mocking, like pouty face. Like, oh, did you? Oh God, no. Oh no, wouldn't do that. Not me. Drew. I'm like, what's going on? Just like be present in the moment. React naturally. You're an actress. You're actually quite a good actress. I don't know. I saw a clip, by the way, going around on threads of the TLC biopic that was on. It was on like a Lifetime, I think. We don't give that enough air because it had Keke Palmer, Drew Sidora, and Lil Mama. Now, Lil Mama has, I think, since been canceled for some problematic behavior, but I have to say, they all looked exactly like the girls. And seeing Keke do Chili as in the No Scrubs video, it's really good. The No Scrubs video, like, replication is really, like, frame for frame perfect. Go look it up. It is so good. And Drew looks great as T-Boz. Like, it all works so well. And yeah, they get to, so their first stop. So they're going on a couple of adventures. First thing, they're going to a kilt shop. Now, once again, I said I wear a kilt, and I said not me knowing about kilts. Not me knowing about kilts. Okay? What I know is limited. But I know that I know what tartan is, and I've worn a kilt. And I know where things should go on the kilt. I know about there's like a sock thing you put on, and then you have a knife in your sock, and then you got a little purse. You got a little purse you hang in front of your dick for protection, and you can put your cell phone in that. I'm sure that's what they meant I'm sure that's like what they put in there in the olden days. Their cell phone, some chapstick. Yeah, but I felt the fantasy. And I want to buy a kilt. I'm thinking about buying one. So shout out if you have any kilt recs. Then they head into Edinburgh. They go to dinner at the Alchemist. I did not go here, but this was right by where I was staying, and I saw this spot quite a bit. And so Portia, excuse me, not Phaedra. They start talking about kind of Portia's situation with Dennis, and she dropped a really interesting truth to me, and that was that Dennis reacted more poorly to Portia dating Sway than she did to Mike. Now, this is telling on Dennis that he has some real kind of like shit that he's got to work on spiritually through his views on, homosexuality and bisexuality. And I don't know if he has shame around being with a woman, being almost married to a woman, and sharing a kid with a woman who is bisexual, But I think that, whenever a man is kind of irked or has judgment around someone about a woman dating a woman, my thought is that they either are closeted themselves or they're just mad that they never got to experience their partner with a woman involved in themselves. So, because often men are projecting about what it is that they want and what they need. Because one thing men don't do is say what they want and say what they need. And that's generally why we're in mess. Like, generally in the world, the reason we're in mess because a man somewhere along the lines decided to be violent instead of saying what it is that he wanted or what it is that he felt. But we don't need to talk about that. But I thought that was crazy. So then we get into this SHAMEA Portia fight. So there's a lot here. I tried to go through as many beats of it in my notes as possible. I probably skipped a couple things because it was all really quick back and forth. But essentially, SHAMEA brings up the fact that she's essentially defending Dennis and being like, you let Dennis around this group, but like you talk shit about him, all this. And then she says that Dennis told her that you weren't happy about Pilar being brought around this group anymore because Portia doesn't trust the ladies. And SHAMEA tries to like internalize this to be about her. Now, SHAMEA, you've been an unreliable narrator. You've been an unreliable friend for, a season and a half now. I don't think Portia what does she owe you to bring her child around? And why are you bringing up her child's name? Like, I don't ever understand why the housewives want to fight about like, well, your husband doesn't show up to film, but mine does. It's like, mind your own fucking business. SHAMEA, your husband doesn't show up to film. Your husband doesn't show up to film because he doesn't want to film. But then you get mad at Angela and her husband for their relationship dynamic. It's like, why are you so concerned about what it is everyone else is doing within the confines of this show when you have your own issues? Like, just let the show happen as it happens. Why are you so concerned? She's so concerned about what it is everyone else is up to behind closed doors. It makes me think that she's got something herself. I'm like, I don't really understand. It doesn't really make sense to me. And she's just poking. She's poking Portia to get Portia activated, to make a scene, to make TV. And Portia is a pro. And she's like, baby, I am not going to sit here and give you the moment that you want to have. And SHAMEA, they start going back and forth. SHAMEA brings up the fact that Portia said that SHAMEA coming on as a full-time housewife would jeopardize Portia and SHAMEA's relationship. SHAMEA, why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing this up? You're bringing this up because the season is wrapping. You haven't had enough conversations with Portia, and you want to get something on camera, and you want to make her look bad about talking about you behind camera. I have to say, I do think this is a part. Their dynamic is inherently competitive. I brought this up on a recent episode where we learned that Portia and SHAMEA both auditioned for a girl group, and SHAMEA got in and Portia didn't, and there was some resentment there when that happened. And then Portia got on Housewives and SHAMEA didn't. And then I'm sure there was resentment there. SHAMEA got a friend of. I think they have this type of relationship where there's always a little bit of a competitive nature to it. And I think that's the core of the problem. And the cameras really, highlight that. The cameras highlight truth. They bring out whatever you're hiding. You can't lie really that good on camera. Someone's going to suss it out. And so I do think there is an inherent competitiveness between the two of them, but I don't understand why we're still talking about the jeopardizing of their friendship by coming on as full-time housewives when SHAMEA, you got a second season, Peach. You're here for a second season. Your place is secure for now. Your place is secure for this season. Your checks will still cash at the end of every episode. I don't understand why you're so worried about this fight at this point. You need to take your relationship as it is now and try and fight to improve it instead of going back into the depths and the catalog of all the things that has happened between the two of y'all. I just don't understand why she's bringing up so much past shit just to like make Portia look bad. So then she starts to bring up the parents because SHAMEA is still pressed that Portia, chewed out SHAMEA's mom on Instagram, but that was all addressed at the last reunion. And then SHAMEA says, she brought up my mom bought your mom's daycare, the daycare of it all, which we did have some of that at the reunion. And then SHAMEA decides to really shake the table, make a moment. Once again, the purpose of this lost on me. I don't know what the purpose was. But she says, your mom tried to sleep with my dad. Girl, shut up. Shut up. Once again, SHAMEA, listen. If you don't want people to talk about your mom, if you don't want people to talk about your marriage, if you don't want people to talk about your children, why are you talking about other people's? You say there's a line, but then you cross the line, but then expect the line to be redrawn for you? It's crazy work. And I mean, the whole table is like, what are we doing? All of the women. And we cut to this amazing freeze frame of Angela, and she's holding this like lemon drop shot with like a sugar rim. She's got her head in her hand, and she's like, Lord, give me the strength. It's so funny. It is so funny. I posted it on Threads. Go check it out. Portia says, you and your mother are low down dirty snakes. And then Portia reveals that your mom slept with your father's brother. Now, God forbid she say uncle. God forbid she say uncle, but I do think that is what a father's brother kind of colloquially is.
You mind if we make one more stop before heading back? I need to run a Target.
100%. Let's RTT. You thinking of stuff for the dorm?
Yeah, my mom gave me some good tips on must-have essentials. We for sure need underbed storage, handheld iron for wrinkles, maybe even a mini Keurig for Mondays. Am I right?
All right, bet. Because I was already thinking about keeping my clothes looking fresh at college, so you better be sharing that.
Of course, man. Whatever I get on this run is yours too.
Twin.
But for real, let's go before they close.
Find everything you need for college at Target.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
For the moments that matter, choose Curad Naturals. Infused with aloe vera and vitamin E, Curad Naturals bandages protect your unexpected scrapes, cuts, and burns while also moisturizing your skin. Find deeper relief with natural ingredients you can trust to start the healing. When life's surprises call for the best, choose Curad, a deeper level of care. Shop the full collection on Amazon or visit Curad.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats, VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
Is it uncle? And Phaedra says in her confessional, I wouldn't give a hoo-hoo if his name was Jesus. Oh my God. These ladies, y'all crack me up. Even in the darkest of times, y'all crack me up. And so SHAMEA runs out with Kelly. And once again, y'all, Kelly, if you want to stay on this show, you need to start sitting at the table and not running away with SHAMEA. You and SHAMEA are not frickin' frack. I wonder sometimes when they're filming these shows if they're like, we are eating. We are fan favorites. I can't wait to see how everyone loves our asses. It's like, you have to know if you're the only two and the rest of the 7 are sitting at the table talking shit about you, that you're probably on the outs. You're probably bottom of the totem pole. You got to just sit in the scenes, y'all. You just have to be there. I know it sucks. We just got to be there. That's just kind of how it works. But the episode ends on them just kind of debriefing everything that just went down. And, they just say SHAMEA is dead. I mean, SHAMEA is dead to this group. They all don't fuck with her. They've all tried to F with her, and they don't. And I wrote, this was her and Kelly's swan song, running out to that minivan. But then we head into the next episode. This is season 17, episode 15, Walking the Dead. So Shamea and Kelly continue to unpack all of this Porsche of it all in the van. And I wrote that, Kay is smart here to realign. She was trying to hang out with the Kelly and Shamea vibe of it all. And she says, no, I'm going to sit at this table with the A-team because that's where the money is. The scene that will end up getting more coverage on it is the scene with the A-team. So the A-team being Angela, Cynthia, Portia, Phaedra. Like, say what you want about any of them, they're the A-team. And Drew sometimes can be A-team if she's, engaged that day. Kay is smart to sit there with that group. And so is Pinky. And Pinky is great. I'm really loving Pinky. She's just like a good other housewife. Like, sometimes we just need that other wife there that is quippy, that makes you laugh, that's a little delusional. She's not carrying like an immense amount of story. She is going through all this bankruptcy, but she's not carrying an immense amount of story that weighs the show down. She's just sitting over there, making a laugh, making a drama, a little delusional, and I love it. Pinky, I love you. But so the girls decide to head out. They go to a hotel nearby to do a little refresh and a costume change. They get their makeup redone, and they go to a nightclub called Coco. I did not go to Coco, but I would love to go to Coco. It looks beautiful. And this looked like a whole vibe. And someone threaded this. I'm sorry for not... I don't know if it... Yeah, I don't have the exact person to reference. But someone threaded that they wish Marlo would have come back for the scene, so it recreated the club scene on season 4 of Atlanta when they went to Africa. And y'all, if you know, you know. It is 4. Yeah, season 4. Season 4 Africa trip, it was this... It kind of quickly followed in succession of trips to Scary Island. I think Scary Island still is revered as our first like trip for housewives in season 3. And then Atlanta and New York season 3, obviously. And then Atlanta for season 4, they went to Africa. I still rewatch the Africa trip. If you want to feel something, go back and watch the Africa trip. The talls versus the smalls. The fortune teller predicting that Candy was going to marry someone that was there at the time, and it was Todd, because Todd at the time worked on production for Real Houses of of Atlanta. It's a crazy trip. Marlo and Sheree are doing the It's all great. All great. Someone does use a slur, but we're going to move past that. But it's a great trip. And I do wish Marlo was here just for that scene, to do that dance because remember Marlo throws out all the dollars and then Phaedra is like, now wait a second, there's dollars on the ground. Gotta take the dollars. It's crazy how long I've been with these ladies, y'all. And you too. I assume a lot of you guys are from the jump housewives people like myself. It's crazy how long we've been here. Like, I think that season was in like 2010, 2009. I mean, it's 2026. You know what? Not too much. I'm starting to feel old. But the club feels great. Kay Michelle is a little litty titty, and she gets on the mic, and she is running this like a versus. She is running this like an Apple Music versus. She's like, no, we're gonna have a housewife versus. So we're gonna have this housewife play her song versus this housewife play her song, and we're gonna duke it out. And we almost got Portia's song, which is I'm blanking on the title of it right now. We almost got it, and then Portia left the club. But Kay sings one of her songs for Phaedra's birthday. And then Shamea and Kelly's nasty asses show up to that party. What are they doing there? What are they doing there? You said, this is my problem with them, is they're not authentic to the show. They get up and leave because that is their reaction. And then they're like, wait a second. I have to go back. I have to be back on camera. I have to be back with the stars. It's like, yeah, you should have sat your ass with the stars in the first place. Why did you get up and leave? And why are you coming for the stars of the show? Oh God, they are exhausting. And then they show up thinking that they deserve like everyone's attention, and everyone is like, no, what are we doing here? Why? SHAMEA. SHAMEA has worn me more thin than many housewives. SHAMEA is wearing my ass out. I think she wears me out mostly too because I really liked her last season. God, she's wearing me out. But Phaedra says, I'm glad Portia wasn't on that Henny because... Sorry, I said Henny as in Henny. Y'all, my jet lag is hitting me. I'm glad Portia wasn't on that Henny. I can't say this. Y'all know that it is 10 p.m. in London time when I'm recording this. I'm glad Portia wasn't on that Henny because anything could have happened. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Anything. Okay. Anyways, I'm getting hot. I'm getting tired. But I did laugh when Portia runs out after, SHAMEA comes in and K. Michelle says, "Where is Portia? Where is Portia? Don't make me call Portia. Don't make me call Portia." So the next day after the club, Phaedra decides to split up the girls. So we have half the girls going to Greyfriars Cemetery, Greyfriar Bobby's cemetery. And then we have the other half staying at the house for a spa day, quote unquote. Now for the cemetery, I went to the cemetery. I know I'm literally like, I am like your drunk aunt being like, no, I've been there. I've been there. That's me right now. But let me have this, okay? I was there when they were there. I was there when the show was airing, okay? That doesn't mean we were there at the same time. But you learned about it while I was there, okay? Greyfriar Bobby, he sat at that grave, okay? I learned that. I learned about that too. But one thing I have to say about Edinburgh, now, we're going to venture into some J.K. Rowling talk for a second. So, trigger warning. I mean, I can't stand Joanne. We all can't, okay? Joanne, you did so much for us as children and then ripped it out of our hands because you're an absolute bigoted bitch. And one thing when you go to Edinburgh, it's where she wrote allegedly the first Harry Potter book. It's the bars there where she wrote on the napkin the first chapter. And I was a Harry Potter kid, so I shout out to my in recovery Harry Potter kids. There is something inherently magical about it because it does feel like, Hogwarts in a lot of ways, in a lot of places. But now that we learn more about Joanne and how she is such a TERF and how she is out here, thinking that she's a feminist, when in reality, feminists should be supporting all women. And guess who's a woman is a trans woman. So trans women fall into your feminist umbrella. So ripping rights of those people away is inherently ripping away your own rights as a woman. Okay? Put that to the side for 1 second. When you go around places in Edinburgh, there's like tours happening everywhere where the same woman who is at the Drury Lane Theatre is like, I want to say that Harry Potter was shot there. And there's nothing actually, Harry Potter wasn't real. When I was at the cemetery and there are tours happening and they're pointing towards this Tom Riddle tombstone, which is there. And this guy's like, a little did you know Tom Riddle is right there. And it's like, okay, y'all, Tom Riddle wasn't real. Joanne was on a couple glasses of Chardonnay and a cigarette, and she probably hadn't eaten in a day and is walking around cursing under her breath about trans women and saw a tombstone that saw Tom Riddle and was like, let me use that for my book about Harry Potter. That's what it was. They're claiming that she got like inspo from the cemetery. No, she stole the names that were in the cemetery because she needed names for her book. Just bothers me. She's out here. She's such a loser. We should have known it forever. She's a loser. Out here stealing the names of dead people from a cemetery. Loser. Oh God. Okay, let's move on. The Greyfriars Bobby, though, the little dog statue, is really cute, though, that he slept at his dad's grave for 14 years because he missed him. Russell's behind me. You can't see him. Russell, you want to say hi? He's asleep. But yeah, shout out to JK. I hate your ass. And then, we're going back and forth between them in Edinburgh and them at the castle. The castle, they try to do a spa day that is a flop. Portia FaceTimes her sister Lauren and is talking about everything that went down with SHAMEA. And something happened here where she said her dad didn't have any teeth. I'm going to need y'all to go back and rewatch it for that because I'm feeling a little jet lagged. I don't really know what was going on there. I thought that I was just jet lagged. I was like, did she just... No. She didn't just... What? It's funny. The things I can take on, and there's certain things I can't take on when I'm jet lagged, but something I seemingly can take on is the demise of J.K. Rowling. But the ladies head back from the Bobby, and they're talking in the car about... Phaedra's talking about dating and her dating life and talking about how she's not really a boyfriend person. And y'all, we get a confessional from Cynthia where she looks absolutely unreal. Now, I think she's probably hitting the pen or now in the pill form, the GLPs. And you know what? The GLPs, they hit. And they're working for her in this format. I mean, I'm sure in a couple of years we'll learn about whatever they did, but I have to give it to her. She looks unreal. I mean, she looks like she always is a supermodel. I think she was beautiful before losing the weight. I don't think she needs to lose any weight. But that confessional, she looks exactly like she did on season 3 when she came in to the show. It's actually crazy. So it really blew me away. But in the confessional, she's like, I don't believe for a second that Phaedra doesn't have a boyfriend. She said somebody has been in between those... She said somebody in between them thighs. We just don't know who it is. That's my issue with Phaedra. I've said it before. She's a little too secretive sometimes. But then these ladies head to a little birthday dinner that the women throw for Phaedra. Everyone gets a personalized tartan. They're all in these glitter gowns. They look absolutely insane. The bagpipe leads them to dinner. It's epic. One more vacation thing that they did have a bagpipe at the wedding, and they would lead us around the property. I mean, it was so chic. What can I say? I'm Scottish now. Did you hear? I've had haggis. Okay. Haggis, this ass. Guys, I'm going crazy. And after this, I have to record. There's a gun to my head. I have to record the Roni trailer reaction. So keep an eye out for that because it looked good. Shockingly. So this dinner, Phaedra gives a speech about how her and Cynthia have been on this journey of the show together since around 2009, I think they said, which is crazy. That was the year I graduated high school. And these ladies raised me. They really did. And... I started to take something down in my notes. And as I was typing it, I hate to say that SHAMEA said it too. Now, SHAMEA and I, we've gone through a lot in the last 48 minutes recording this here podcast. But I have to agree with SHAMEA on this one. I have to, okay? Don't get mad, everyone. Why is Portia up here talking to Phaedra as if she is her lifelong best friend? I need everyone to remember a series of events. We cannot rewrite these events. We have to remember them, acknowledge it, move on. Portia and Phaedra were caught in a alleged drugging sex scandal on season 9 that resulted in Phaedra getting fired from the show and removed from all Bravo programming for 6 years.
Visible puts the ultimate wireless hack in the palm of your hand. With unlimited 5G wireless data and hotspot designed to keep you connected, powered by Verizon's 5G network. And no contract holding you back. Plans start at $25 a month, or get the premium Visible Plus Pro plan and save $10 on your first month when you use promo code HACK. Make the switch at Visible.com. Terms apply. See Visible.com for details.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood, so you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
And they didn't talk. They didn't talk for years. And then they get back together and pretend that they're like best friends again. And now Portia's saying up here that like Phaedra is a lifelong bestie. I don't think SHAMEA is a lifelong bestie. They clearly have had a tumultuous relationship forever, probably, allegedly. I don't know. I think the besties of all these women are not probably on these shows. I don't think that Portia and Phaedra are lifelong besties. This was just they lost me on this a little bit. And I love my girls. But I was like, ladies, y'all don't text. Y'all don't hang out. When the camera's not around, she's never met Sway until the filming of the show. So they started talking about the cemetery, and I think, Phaedra has such a beautiful relationship with death. I've experienced a lot of death in my life. My family is very old outside of my immediate family. We don't have a lot of cousins or kids. We have one first cousin by blood, and then we have some people that we call family that aren't totally like blood family. And we're close with them, but like a lot of the rest of our family is much older, and a lot of them have passed. And so death is something that's always just been around in my life. And I'm definitely scared of death for myself, but I also understand that life is final and we have to live. And I do think there is a beauty in saying that you respect cultures that treat their dead with reverence. And I think that's really special. I don't believe that cemeteries are the route necessarily for me. I think there are other ways to honor and respect like those in my life. But a beautiful cemetery, I do think there's something absolutely beautiful about customs, and it's hard. We don't have a lot of customs in America that aren't inherently like new or built on the backs of like systemic racism. So like when you travel to places like Scotland or the UK or places in Asia, like you learn that there's all this honor that put into people's history because history is so important. And so it is cool to honor things like this and learn people's customs going to like a cemetery. I totally see what Phaedra is talking about, but this does bring up something in Kay where she's like, I can't step foot in that because I almost died. And I get that. That is really frightening, really frightening. And Kay opens up a little bit more about how scary it was to, going through all of her procedure drama and how doctors were like, this could be a wrap. And then Drew leaves the table because she's still thinking about stuff with her dad. Her dad had recently passed. Portia goes to comfort her. And then SHAMEA apologizes to the entire table for everything that went down last night. But of course, Portia isn't there. Now, I have to say, Portia keeps it moving with SHAMEA on this episode. Like, she is a pro. I can't believe she just hangs out in the same room with her and just like, what's up? How's the food? Is everyone having a good time? Like, I would be like shaking sitting in the same room as someone who said the things that SHAMEA did about me and my family. But Portia keeps it moving. And the ladies dance to some bagpipes. And that wraps up the episode. These were two really fabulous episodes. And I'm so happy that me, a Scot, could help you understand everything that was going on. I can feel how annoying I was in this episode, but I do feel that I was crazy. And sometimes you guys like when I go absolutely manic. So I am going to go. I'm going to go because I'm feeling the jet lag. But I do want you to stay. And I want you to stay and I want you to subscribe to the Patreon if you can. I want you to subscribe to the podcast platform that you're not listening to this on. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Subscribe wherever you aren't subscribed because I want to hit some milestones and I can't do it without y'all. And y'all have gotten me so far these days. I really appreciate everyone so much. And I just want to remind y'all that I am, in a very transitionary moment in life right now. And I couldn't get through this without the love and support of the Dumpster Divas. So I just want to say thank you. There's some exciting announcements coming in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to tell you what's going on. And I will see y'all next time. Make sure to follow me at the Tom Hamlet. And if you want to add a little extra cash to support this show on the Patreon, you can subscribe to the Trash Philanthropist tier. And once again, your name will be read here on the show. So I want to give those people a shout out. We have Marion, Andrew, Barbara, Kayla, another Andrew, Brandon, Wendy, and y'all make the lights stay on. So I love you so much. And I'll be back with a ton of more content this week. There is so much to talk about. Oh my God. Bye.